The only thing worse than saying goodbye to a dog that you love or having to decide to put a dog down is accidentally hurting or killing your dog. Hundreds of comments and emails that I've received from readers who accidentally kill their dog in different ways. I understand the thinking that goes behind accidentally leaving a dog in a hot car, for instance. I did that. My dog didn't die because people called the police and I got a phone call. So I understand though how close we came to losing our dog, and it would have been totally my fault. I witnessed the death of my cat, and it was extremely painful. I eventually had to euthanize her because of what happened, and it was very, very terrible. I want to give you some comfort and maybe some suggestions to help you work through the guilt and grief that you feel. It's important to remember how quickly accidents happen and how little thought and planning goes into an accident. In fact, there's no thought and no planning that goes into an accident. That's why it's called an accident. Feelings of guilt, grief, and shame, or even self-hatred, those feelings and thoughts will arise. No matter how much you make peace with the accident that happened, the pain and the grief and the suffering happens when you allow the thought to take hold of you, and when you ride the thought or you nurture and feed that painful thought. So I encourage you, instead of going with that thought and allowing the thought to carry you into places of extreme pain and darkness, to drop the thought somehow. Just try and figure out a way just to let it go. It's really hard to do, and I'm finding that it requires a lot of practice. So I notice the thought comes up into my head, and then I just drop it. I just move on to something else. Another thing to remember is that this experience can be something that makes you a more compassionate, loving, kind person. If you choose to work through it and forgive yourself and know that it was just an accident that happened, you will become more compassionate, more loving and kind to the people in your life. And you'll understand when you hear about dogs getting locked in hot cars or terrible mistakes happening that lead to a pet's death, you're gonna know that it can happen to anyone. And instead of feeling judgmental and unforgiving towards that person, you will know firsthand what it feels like, and your heart will expand and have room for that person's pain.